I don't know why I'm being really weird. I must be hungry. Hello! I'm really excited because today is the first day that I've ever worn a tank top in public in years. My skin has been like really bad for the past 2 years and I haven't worn a tank top or like anything without long sleeve. My skin isn't like amazing right now, but it's like the best it's been in a long time. Feels good. Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm the Viet vegan because I'm Viet and I'm vegan. And today we're cooking a soup and I'm on a time crunch because I have to go pick up my friend from Kipling Station because we're gonna watch The Bachelorette and she wants veggies. So I decided to make a soup. Now this soup is something that you might have seen in my What I Ate in a Day, I can't remember which one, but I'll link it over there. From the looks of it, y'all really liked that recipe or like you clicked on it a lot. So I assume you like it. So I'm gonna make it here. I'm gonna show you how I do it and maybe you can try it yourself. This soup is a little alarming. It's green, it's a little scary looking, but I swear it tastes really good. Let's make it. I'm gonna start by cutting up these onions. Normally I would only use one onion, but they're starting to go off soon, so I wanna use them before they get squishy, you know? Let's chop up some onions. Now, for the garlic. We're gonna mince this. If you had a garlic press, this would be a good opportunity for that. I don't like the idea of cleaning them, so I don't have one. So we got our fire. Haha! We have our pot. In here I have some grapeseed oil. We're gonna add a little bit of oil to the pan, to the pot. It's about a tablespoon or so. And then we're gonna add in our onion. Now, if you're cooking, I recommend prepping your ingredients before you start cooking. Otherwise, you'll be like, oh my God, I don't have garlic, or you're like looking for something and then it kind of gets burnt while this is cooking and you're like chopping and stuff. It's a French term, it's called mise en place. You just basically set up all your ingredients so that they're ready. I have them off camera so you can't see them. So we got our onions cooking. I just realized you can't see that. 1 second. Onions cooking. We want to get them a little bit browned. And then we'll add the garlic. As you can see, things are starting to brown. They're getting a little too brown, but that's okay. This will all kind of glaze off once I add some water. Add the garlic. Stirring in the garlic now. Smells fragrant, smells like garlic. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to deglaze the pan. That's just gonna lift up all the like browning that's on the bottom of the pot and will give your soup extra flavor. And while this is happening, I'm going to add my bouillon paste. This is just some vegetable bouillon paste stuff. You can just use regular vegetable broth, no problem. There's actual instructions on the thing, but I don't really care. I'm just gonna go by taste. Like I said, you can use vegetable broth, you can use mushroom broth powder, whatever you have on hand. So I'm gonna add the rest of the water once the paste is all mixed in. I think in my written recipe, I also add some garlic powder, onion powder. I'm gonna add maybe like a teaspoon of garlic powder or half teaspoon. Really, it's whatever you like. I like it, I'm feeling more flavorful today, so I'm gonna go pretty ham, even though I went pretty extra on the garlic, but whatever. I'm gonna add some garlic powder. It's a little powdery and chunky, but it'll dissolve as we go along. Plus we're blending this anyway, so it's not like we're gonna get a chunk of onion powder. As that is boiling, I'm gonna add the quinoa. About 1 cup of quinoa. I decided to go pretty heavy on the quinoa this time. You just add it in. It's about 1 cup of rinsed quinoa, and you rinse it. If you have ever had quinoa, sometimes you can get a little gassy from it. A lot of people think it's a grain, but it's actually a seed. So on the outside of the seed, there's like an enzyme, and if you don't wash it off, it can give you gas. Just give it a little rinse. I just rinse it underneath water in one of these mesh sieves until it no longer gets bubbly. Some brands are a lot better for gassiness than others. You're just gonna cook this until the quinoa is cooked through, which is about like 15 minutes or so. And then we can add in the rest of the goodies. All right, so things are nice and cooked through. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more water to this, about maybe 2 cups. We'll save another cup of water just in case we need to add more. I'll bring this to a boil again, and then we're gonna add the kale. So over here I have some kale that got a little sad in my fridge, although once I washed it with water, it kind of perked up again. It's been sitting in some water for a little bit, and it's kind of all fresh and lively once more. As that's kind of coming to a boil again, I'm actually going to give this a rough chop. So I'm gonna move this over very carefully. I have been informed by my friend that I need to go pick her up in about 10 minutes, so hopefully I'll just be able to whip this out real quick. Giving this a quick chop, just so that my blender, I'm gonna use my hand blender for this. I just don't wanna give it a really hard time. You could use a regular blender. If your blender is like quite good, you don't probably need to do this. My hand blender is a little old, so the edges are a little dull. So we're gonna add in a whole bunch of kale. My friend wasn't kidding when she said she wanted vegetables, and if you want vegetables, I'm gonna give you vegetables. I think this soup is the happiest looking soup ever, but I mean, this is coming from me who thinks that anytime you add green to a dish, it looks happier. So that's just me. Ta-da, and then we're just gonna mush it in. Just get in there. Mush, 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 mush. Getting nice and bright and green already. Now, if you don't like blended soups, you could totally just not blend it. I'm lazy, I don't want to chew, so I'm gonna blend it. The kale is starting to get nice and green. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes to cook through, and then we're gonna add the spinach. Yes, I know, we're adding even more green to this. Now I'm gonna take the shortcut and I'm gonna add frozen spinach to this because I'm lazy. I've just been buying a lot more frozen spinach lately just because it doesn't wilt on me. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more water. I'm gonna add that full 1/3 cup. So I'm gonna add in some frozen spinach. This is about 150 grams of frozen spinach. So this would probably be about 3 cups of fresh spinach, maybe more. Whatever 150 grams of frozen spinach would be. You can honestly eyeball it. You can do like 3 handfuls, 4 handfuls. The spinach will just kind of make the soup a little bit silkier because that's kind of what spinach is like. Kale can make it a little tough, so I like to add the spinach to make it taste a little sweeter and silkier. The green does tend to get a little sadder in color, but it still tastes good. If I were not lazy, I would thaw this ahead of time before adding, but ain't nobody got time for that. I'm just gonna let that sit in there for a second. I'm gonna put on an apron so that when I blend this, I don't get it all over my new t-shirt. Or I guess it's the tank top. By the way, if you wanna know where this tank top is from, it's actually from Vegetarian, who's a fellow vegan and t-shirt shop entrepreneur. And this is a collab with another fellow YouTuber, Caitlin from my bowl on Instagram. Or Caitlin Shoemaker. I'm having a lot of issues today. If you want this tank top, I will leave the link down below. I'm not like sponsored or anything by it. I just like want to support other vegans. Things are looking good. Now you don't have to add the quinoa, but I like to add it because it gives it a little bit more oomph. Then you're like full for longer, adds more fiber, a little bit of protein. People think that quinoa gives you a lot of protein, but it's about as much protein as rice. Quinoa is actually more carbs than it is protein. Don't fool yourself into thinking that quinoa is like a super protein source. It's really not. I think I lost my spinach chunk. Does that mean that it's incorporated? Oh, never mind, I found it. Oh my God. I'm excited already. I'm also late to pick up my friend. So I'm actually gonna pause the video recording here. I'm gonna turn off the heat and then I'll come back and then I'll blend this and it should be good. And we're back and I have my friend here. It's been like 40 minutes later. The soup is a little bit darker, but that's okay. So I'm gonna add a little bit of nutritional yeast, about a 1/4 cup, and that gives it extra flavor, you know. We're gonna mix that in. And now we're gonna blend it. So, as I said, this is the hand blender. It's a little old. I've had it since university, but it does make soup pretty easily. So, we're gonna blend the F out of this. Sometimes there's like little chunks that get stuck on the blade, so you just kind of get them off. If you have a very sharp new blender, that probably won't happen, but since mine is kind of dull and old, that's the way it goes. Ooh, look at that steam. Ooh. Ah. If you want it to be like even like silkier and like thinner, then you can put it in like a high-speed blender like a Vitamix or Blendtec, but that just means that you have another thing to clean. I'd rather just clean this thing because it's way easier. That's pretty much it. The soup is done, and you just serve it with a squeeze of either lemon juice or lime juice. I'd actually don't have any lemon juice, so I'm gonna use some lime and a little bit more of nutritional yeast. So I'm gonna give this a taste. I'm gonna get my spoon, BRB.
What's the white stuff?
Quinoa.
Ooh, you blended quinoa?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Right? I think it needs a little salt. Right?
And a little bit more pepper.
You wanna add salt?
Okay. I think it still needs more salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
You trust me, right? I feel like I don't over-season.
I totally
Not
trust
a
you.
thing.
So I've got some lime. That's good? Mm-hmm. You happy with it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're gonna put it in a bowl, because that's how we gonna eat it. Like I said, it's a very alarming color. I don't know if you guys can see it. I swear it tastes good. It does not taste like it's green, even though it's like mostly greens. And if you have kids and you want to convince them to eat more greens, you can tell them that they're gonna turn into a monster if they eat this, or if that's something that's fun to them. We add some nutritional yeast and some lime and mine. Do not skip the lime or the lemon. It really kind of brings this to life. This soup is my jam. This soup looks really scary, but it tastes really good. I really think you should make it because it's just like really fun to eat. I don't know, it's like you add in so much green and you blend it down and you just eat it, and it takes like no effort whatsoever. There's no chewing, there's no like things stuck in your teeth. So if you wanna make this, I'll leave the recipe link in the corner as well as down below. Make it, tag me on social if you post it on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. I would love to see if you like this, if you enjoy it as well. And if you wanna add your own additions, I mean, you can get a little spicy with this if you want. I fed this to like 30 people before and they all look at it like, what is happening? And then you add a little bit of nooch, salt, pepper, and lime, and it is delicious. If you like this kind of recipe, give this a like, comment down below if you would try this. Hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. And if you've already subscribed, hit that notification button so you know when the videos come up, you know, because sometimes I'm not very timely with my uploads. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a delicious day. Bye. Let's chop up some, oh God. Move back in the center, ever so carefully. Very attractive sounds. Is that right? Very, very well blended. What am I even saying? You don't have to go on camera, you can go this way. Oh no!